This is a perfect example of, and we haven't seen as much of this, it seems to me. I mean, what we've seen from the Democrats that I feel like I've been complaining about for years has been really that they're in the wrong place on certain issues. Not
Yes.
just an out and out complete political malpractice like we are witnessing in the House with this Benghazi BS. The
Yep.
Democrats
We're
decided to name 5 people to sit on the House Select Committee. They did not get any of the asks that they asked for in terms of being able to call witnesses and whatnot. Maybe they'll be able to, maybe they won't. They did not decide to boycott it or to put Alan Grayson solo on this thing, or even with the other members. It just tactically, it's a huge, huge blunder in my mind.
And it's the one that the Democratic Party makes again and again, and it's the one that makes you sometimes question, are they throwing the game? Because it's so utterly stupid. It's again, we've talked about these types of things. It's like Pat Leahy sitting there right now saying that he won't get rid of the blue slip system for putting judges in the court. We've talked about this on the show before, even though Orrin Hatch, when he was chairing the Judiciary Committee, threw it right overboard. It's the Democrats fighting with one arm tied behind their back. I would argue both their legs too, quite frankly. And it makes it frustrating. It makes it so that I generally refer to myself as an independent who votes Democratic, because you sit there and you just like, this is my team, and I mean they're legitimizing this thing. A lot of people, of course, were calling for Alan Grayson to be put there, who's somebody who was a fantastic trial lawyer before he became a congressman, is willing to launch bombs back at Republicans and not take any of their crap and doesn't fear them. And to me, you should have done one of two things. You put nobody on the committee and don't even bless it with the bipartisanship it doesn't deserve, or you put just Alan Grayson there, and then you're also sending that message and having him mock them and having him bring up, why is it that 9/11 that you didn't pay nearly as much attention to the, I don't know, according to Kurt Eichenwald, the 60-something, how many memos were there they ignored about an impending attack on our homeland that killed almost 3,000 people? That literally should have just been what Alan Grayson should have done the entire time, is ask that question.
People can...
And instead... Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, this is a very easy a thought exercise. Contemplate what the news reports are if there are no Democrats in the room. There's no fireworks because there can't be any fireworks. You're just going to have Republicans talking to Fox News analysts, doing the exact same thing that they've done. Imagine if it's Alan Grayson in the room. The only things that are ever going to make it into the media narrative will be Alan Grayson saying something completely outrageous, but true.
True about literally about how these people ignored those warnings and then covered up and refused to really investigate afterwards or allow access to all sorts of records the 9/11 Commission asked for. No, I mean that either of those narratives would have been respectable coming out of this and good. And instead, we give them the bipartisan circus they want. This is this is electoral politics via scandal. Yep. It's what Karl Rove did for years when they were calling him some sort of a genius, which instead he was just playing by different rules than the Democrats were willing to play by, and winning elections in liberal hotbeds of Texas and Alabama. And I still, to this day, say I have no doubt that some of his advice was behind the impeachment of Bill Clinton and the tarring Bill Clinton with scandal, because this is what he did all the time in his races down there. And they know, it doesn't take genius, that if on the front cover of newspapers and magazines there's headlines about some sort of a scandal, people don't take the time to read the details. Right. And it seems bipartisan, so it seems like it must be true. And they get sick of whoever it is. And a lot of voters who otherwise would have voted for Al Gore didn't. And that election never would have been close enough for us to again show that tough side of our spine and allow the Republicans to take it away while we were playing by, polo rules in Florida while they were fomenting riot. This is again that story is a story, and here we are doing the same thing again. We're allowing them to what they want to do, which is to hurt any chance of anything, any positive agenda from the current president, which is pretty difficult with the House they have right now anyhow.
Right.
But more than that, hurting Hillary Clinton and other Democrats and having something to try to tar any Democrat who runs, Hillary Clinton most of all because she was Secretary of State, but really any Democrat that runs in 2016, they'll make the argument that Democrats can't handle national security because of Benghazi. Even though, whatever you think of it in the end, bin Laden was taken down by President Obama after the Bush people couldn't find him, then said he didn't matter much to them. And we may end up having some sort of a historic agreement still possibly with Iran. None of that will matter because of Benghazi.
I don't know how I'm going to, I honestly
we're
don't know how I'm
legitimizing
going to make it through without drinking, coolant or something like that.
I've told you, I know, I come back to your part of the country quite often, Sam. We have this thing called the Bourbon Trail in northern Kentucky here. If I can get you out, maybe during 1 week of Benghazi, maybe we can do the show from one of the distilleries, drunk off our asses, and probably still say smarter things than Trey Gowdy.
I'm gonna have to uptake. I'm gonna have to uptake my intake. I should say up my intake of my super male vitality. That
I'll send you a bottle of Jefferson's Reserve that you can take a shot from before each show, if that's how we want to do it.
Maybe.